I am a huge sucker for magical girl adventures and shoujo manga. I love the pretty dresses, the sparkles, the silly romances, the little animal creature helpers, saving the day with friendship and love, all that kind of mushy goodness. Now, what does that have to do with Disney? Years ago, Disney released a manga. It was called Kilala Princess. And in this kind of Kingdom Hearts-esque journey, Kilala travels to different Disney worlds trying to collect jewels for a magical tiara. It's every bit as ridiculous and girly as it sounds, and it's one of my favorite reads. It is a little bit of a challenge to make the individual Disney styles work with the manga form, but it doesn't come across as bad as one would think. Kilala herself is a very cute, hard-working, sweet girl. You'll learn to love her. And the thing is, it's not that generic as you might imagine. There were some twists in there I honestly didn't see coming, like the reveal of the villain. And the romance is very sweet. The friendships are sweet. Even some of the rivals are kind of sweet in their own weird way. And what's cute is sometimes the stories where we look into the other worlds of Disney, they're not sequels, sometimes they're backstories too. Like we get to see a little more of Ariel before she meets Eric. We get to see a little some of Snow White as she lives with the dwarves. And we even get an extra bit of Gaston at one point. It's a very amusing, short read, but it's so worth it if you're into Disney, if you're into sweet girls, if you're into silliness and shoujo and sparkles. But my ultimate favorite thing about this manga is the ending, which is major spoilers, but I don't feel I can convey it without really explaining it. So here we go. As it's probably made obvious, Kilala is a princess by the end of the story. She marries a prince, and her family gets to live happily ever after in this made-up country. But the story does not stop at the wedding. It doesn't stop after the coronation. It goes on to show how hard she works as a royal figure. She goes out to her people, she helps them, she listens to their problems. She faces the real difficulties it takes with leading people. And I was so surprised to see that. How often do you ever see that? Whenever we see princesses, we rarely see them in actually using their title. We rarely see them in a position of authority. And when someone gains princesshood, that's usually the end of the story. So, I was stunned in the best way possible. As usual, the story ends happily. The citizens are happy, the problems are solved. It's all good for everybody. But to actually show what it means to have the title of princess is something that really needs to be said more often. It's become very generic. It's become very loose. But there are real princes, princesses, kings, and queens in this world, and they do have positions of authority. They do make rules. They do try to help their people. And I think if more children understood what being a princess was, it might give them a little more thought about. It might give them maybe something to aspire to, maybe something to uphold. Because being a princess isn't just good looks and being sweet and swirling around in a fluffy dress. Being an actual princess is dedication, is hard work, it's listening to your people. And of all places, it's found in a little manga with talking animals and magic crystals, and I would love nothing more than to show this manga to everyone possible. It's available on several manga scanlation sites, so if you ever get a chance to see it, I implore you to look at it, because most bookstores don't have it anymore, which is disappointing because it was so good. The art style was consistent, the stories were amusing, everyone was in character, and of course that major awesome ending. This was more than a good story, this was a good education, sort of. And it's not only something Disney needs to do more, it's something more shoujo needs to do more. Shoujo itself can be ridden with cliches. But the best kind of shoujo, the best kind of magical girls, are the ones that defy what we've become used to. And the sooner people realize this, the more entertaining they'll become, and the more we can spread them across. Manga has become a great outreach for people. It's become more and more popular with every passing year. And the idea of mixing Disney with shoujo is kind of brilliant. Because, let's face it, when you think of shoujo, you probably think of impossible romances and sparkles and beautiful girls. And that's what a lot of Disney is. Honestly, I'm surprised there isn't more of this type. There really should be. Maybe manga retellings of the classic Disney tales are in order. I remember going to a bookstore once and seeing a quote-unquote manga version of The Nightmare Before Christmas. And it's when you do that, it's not simply a retelling. It's more than that. It's more than an adaptation. It's a way to expand things. It's a way to see things in a new light. It's a way to spread stories. Because some people don't like watching TV. Some people like reading. Some people don't like reading, so they watch TV. If your story is that good, you can convey it to any media. So, I'll wrap this up. I love Kilala Princess. I may be pronouncing it wrong this entire time, but I'm going by Wikipedia. So, if you get a chance, please read it. Give me your opinion. I'd love to hear it. And I hope you enjoy it. Heck, I hope you have a good day.